had a 7-year plan. The plan, we were going to work it where between Social Security, how we had a plan, guys. Life happened, life changed, and so now we want to do it now. And so, welcome to Travel to Retire. After the recent election, Frederick and I, a couple of baby boomers with over 35 cruises and over 20 years of marriage, decided to fast track our dream to retire on a cruise ship. We're sharing tips, tricks, hacks that we've learned, including how we're traveling for free, making sea a reality. Welcome. If you're new, welcome. If you're old, welcome back.
Amazing. Is this affordable? Can anyone do it? I like to say yes, especially if you are retired or if you are a person that can work remotely, right? That's key, being able to work remotely. If you can do those things, then
this is for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can make that happen. We don't want to go into too much detail. There's some other videos available that can dive into some of the specifics relative to what we're talking about. But we kind of want to give you an overview, getting you to think about the possibilities.
Yes, that's it. That is it in a nutshell. So let me say what this means for me. In this relationship, I'm the young one. I'm 60. He just turned 61. We are at a point in our lives where we understand that tomorrow's not promised, and how are we going to live today?
Absolutely.
There's so much of this world I want to see. So we had to sit the family down and say, bye-bye, guys. We are getting ready to live out these next few years. What?
Yeah. I wouldn't say few. I
know.
I didn't like
All
that.
Right, so maybe I'll make that part of the bloopers.
Yeah.
No, but it's just so true. I have more years behind me than I do in front of me, and I want to make all of these count. I do. So, can you see the sky? We're on the ship right now. This is phenomenal to me.
San Juan, Puerto Rico.
Hey, come on now,
one of my
travel the
favorite
world
places.
with us.
I know, one of my favorite places. So, hey, let's get to it.
All right, everybody, my name is Gie Brown, the lifestyle changer, and
I'm Frederick Brown, the husband.
you're hanging with the Browns on our Travel to Retire. Hey, this episode is about the first cruise that we took after the 2024 election, right? What was your thought before going on to the ship?
Well, wasn't sure what to expect. Wasn't sure about the demeanor of the people, what we would encounter. And just really wasn't sure, you know.
So let me start by saying this is not a political video. It isn't. Nothing on the channel will be political, but life actually happens, and there was an election, and we did take a cruise. The atmosphere was different, but I will say this, let me be clear. Most of it possibly could have come from me. My headspace was different, okay? I'm good now, but it was an initial shock for me, all right? And with that being said, I had a good time.
Yeah, I think ultimately I was pleasantly surprised. The encounters weren't what I initially perceived or thought I would perceive, and you know, we had a good time. We really did, and I think since then your headspace has gotten better, and we've taken subsequent cruises following that, and things are great. I think things are great.
Yes, there is hope.
Yeah.
I'll say it like that. There is hope. But let me just say that things that I did notice, getting on the elevator, some people spoke, some people didn't. Doing different things. Some people were happy and some kept their distance. I think that It's a safe space to be. I feel that when people have paid their money to come onto a cruise, you're looking really to have a good time. Now, there are different personalities on the ship. I am very outgoing. I'm that person that I get on the elevator and I speak, and if didn't nobody speak, I speak again. And then I'll speak again. And then they understand, you gonna be on here, you gonna speak with me. I didn't do that on the last one, because I'll say again, I was not in a good headspace, and I just wanted to enjoy the cruise, you and I. But let me tell you, we had our grandkids on there. It was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We had a phenomenal time. The excursion, to see the looks on their faces, our grands, to see the looks on their faces, exploring another country with us, priceless, priceless. And we had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So what are some things that we have put into place?
Well, one of the things that we've done a little bit of research on taking advantage of the gambling aspect of cruising. Now,
wait a minute, I want
initially-
to give a shout out to Robert and Roberta.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yes,
absolutely.
and I will send this to them. It
Yeah.
is a shout out to y'all. You guys, from that moment that we met on the ship at dinner, they were sitting at the next table, and we loved every night at dinner. They dropped so many gems into our spirit. They dropped our road to becoming
Diamond Plus
Diamond Plus.
on Royal Caribbean,
Mhm.
right?
So
And this was just
Yeah,
after,
go ahead.
This was just after COVID, when the industry began to reopen, and we took the advantage of
double points.
double points,
Mhm.
and we were able to climb the ladder pretty quickly. You know, and not only that, we also it became shareholders with Royal Caribbean. They got a policy where if you own over 100 shares of stock, then you can get $100 credit or $50 credit on
The-
sailings.
It depends on
depending on-
length of
depends
your
on the
cruise.
length
But
of
wait a
stay.
minute. Give this little warning now. Don't go buy the stock now.
Yeah. Right now, I wouldn't recommend investing heavily into the stock, because it is extremely expensive right now. I know they're over $200 a share, so that might be a little rich for some people. But we were able to get in. Well, after Robert and Roberta told us about it, they got in when it was less than
I think it
$30 a
was.
share.
Yeah, I was going to say they got it at $29 a share.
Yeah, and we weren't that lucky. We got in at about $80 a share, somewhere there about. But you know, was able to take advantage of it, and now every time we cruise, I just go in and do my submission, and I'll get onboard credit associated with just being a shareholder. That's one nugget.
Yeah, we'll do a video on that. I'll get the screenshot. We'll do a video on
On how
that
to
to
do
show
it.
you how to do it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then the
It's
other
easy.
thing, and then the other thing was taking advantage of. I think this is what I've heard. I haven't gambled on any other ships, but from what I've researched and what I've heard, Royal Caribbean has the best, by far, the best casino offers.
Let us know in the comments
yeah,
if you guys know
absolutely.
something different.
Absolutely.
But let me start with this. When Robert first started telling you about the casino, we, like some of y'all, are probably guarding your pockets
Yeah.
because it's like, nah.
Yeah, let me tell you how this thing works.
Mhm.
One of the things, some people like to gamble on the tables, which you can, but the easiest and best way to get free cruises is actually through the slot machines. Now, here it is. You got to cycle through. You get 1 point for every $5 that's cycled through the machine, right? So with the casino, the way this thing works is you get 1 point for every $5 that's cycled through the machine. Now, in theory, right? So in order to, typically, if you're on a 7-night cruise, I think maybe 5 to 7 or more nights, the minimum point requirement is around 1,500. Now, if I'm incorrect, please comment below and let me know. But typically it's around 1,500. That's what we run into. 1,500 points you would need to get a free cruise, which
Now we're
would
recording
include-
this December of 2023.
2024.
December
Right.
20.
So 1,500 points is what you would need, right? So cycling, so that would mean that you would have to cycle through 7,500 points, $7,500, $7,500, right? So you might say, oh man, now this is what I thought, right? That means I got to lose $7,500 to
Get
get
a free cruise. I could buy that.
Yeah, absolutely. You buy multiple cruises for that, but that's not how it works. See, the objective is to find the machine that has the lowest volatility, which means that a machine that pays back on a regular basis, right? So you want to set a budget, and you want to
Stick to the budget.
Stick to the budget for sure. And then you want to make sure that you find those low volatility machines so that you can keep your bankroll going. Remember, I said you get 1 point for every $5 cycled through. So
That you lose.
if you're gambling and the machine is paying you back money, that's more money you're cycling through, right? So the objective is to spend as little of your money as possible, win a little bit, cycle it through, win a little bit, cycle it through, and keep that going, and you'll accumulate points that way, right? Now it can be a little time consuming, but
No, don't say can.
it can be.
It's time consuming, so don't want to mislead you.
No, stop.
Okay.
Because I sat next to people who had a bigger bankroll than I did, and they would cycle through a lot more money, and they can get there pretty quickly, right? If that's what you want to do, then you're pretty much paying for the cruise out of your pocket, right? That's not what you want to do. So I like to play at the lowest denomination, somewhere around 75 cents to 88 cents a spin, right? That's less than $1 a spin. But oftentimes I found I can find certain machines that pays me back pretty frequently. And when that happens, I can keep my bankroll going and I can accumulate points. Now, fortunately, on this last couple of nights, not only was I able to accumulate points, kept my bankroll going, I actually made money. So I didn't lose money, right? So I walked away.
So I'm a visual person, right? So I'll stop him, and it's like, okay, give a visual. Because one of the things we talked about, example, he took $300, because I think sometimes people want to know what you take. On average, his thing might be, in the beginning, it was $100. You cycle through whatever.
Yeah,
he
but
bumped
it
up.
was $100 a day was initially my gambling limit, and I lost that $100 in 15 minutes, honestly, because I just picked a machine and wasn't sticking to what we were just initially talking about. So once I learned that I need to find a lower volatility machine, a lower volatile machine, and play at a lower denomination, then I began to play a little longer, and I was able to, make that $100 last a lot longer than I was before. So it made a difference.
A big difference.
So initially, for instance, the other night I took $200. Normally my limit is like $200 a night. I took $200 to the casino, and I ended up, I got, 200-300 points, I think, that particular night. And but I also walked away with $650 cash. So I left with more cash than I had, plus I got points. Now you do this on, a 4, 5, 6, 7 night cruise. If you can do this on a consistent basis, you can accumulate those points, which add up to a free cruise. And if you got winnings, then you ultimately cover any losses that you would have had. And so far, I'm still ahead of the game.
Okay, let me add this part, because a lot of times he'll spend that time in the casino. I'm around the ship. Our mindset is different.
Right.
Like I said, people are on here vacationing. We're on here living. This is our life that we are choosing to live, right? So we're in San Juan. A lot of people are getting off, but we're here, right? So last night, let me tell y'all what I did, because a lot of times I'm not in the casino with him. That's for another time. Okay, back to the story.
That's my help, y'all.
All right, so it's 3 machines, right? He's on the center machine. I'm just sitting to his right. Every now and then I'll push. I'm the cheerleader. I watch this man. This is what we're talking about. He put some money in the machine. I wasn't paying attention, but later I found out he had put in $100. because by the time I'm looking, he was like $51. But this is him. This is what he was doing. Not allowing the machine to play all the way. He just didn't realize that's what he was doing, because then he had to put in another 100. Then I watched him put in another 100. Y'all, 3 minutes hadn't gone by, and I'm watching him just constantly, and then somewhere the machine actually gave him a payout. But he wasn't playing a low amount. He was playing almost $5 a tap. He won like $94. I watched him off of 88 cents win that. So when it was all said and done, he had put $400 in there, and then he walked away. Well, guess who went and jumped in that seat? And people do that. They'll watch you. They're sitting there with their ticket over somewhere acting like they're waiting for you to get up. No problem. He got up, I sat down, I started playing a little bit and won $250 off of 88 cents. Now, I was at a position, I wasn't trying to win a free cruise. So I pulled the money out, gave it to him. Now you got some more money to play with. When I stood up, somebody jumped in my seat, right? It's like, you're looking at that. And sometimes you can look at people feed the machine, but here's what I say. When they did that, a lot of times you're looking at that machine, but you can only take this for the words that's coming out of my mouth. That those machines some kind of way were connected, because I'm watching his machine that I know he ain't put a lot of money in.
Yeah, some of the progressive machines are in a lot of connected
Yeah,
that way.
so I think it's what's being put in all those machines together. Not all of them in the casino.
Right.
And I'll say again, this is me. Don't you go repeat this, and don't say, I know, This is
and
what
we're
I
not
came
giving
up
any
with.
gambling advice.
None whatsoever. Here's your
gamble
advice.
at your own risk.
Here's your advice. Keep your money in your pocket.
That's right.
Yes.
If you can't afford to lose it, don't do it.
Don't do it. If you can't afford to walk away, don't do it. If you can't, he chased one night. We call it chasing the wind.
Yeah.
And came back and said, I was looking at the person next to me. They changed their bid. I was like, okay, I'm going to change
that
mine.
was a valuable lesson for me that night.
He did, and I'm glad you did that early on and saw. I played one, wasn't I playing like 6 cents? It was something crazy. I think it was 6 cents, then the next one was 66 cents or something. No, 8 cents, 8 cents.
Yeah.
I was playing 8 cents.
Yeah.
That was it, 8 cents. He said, it's going to be a long time for you to lose $5.
Yeah.
So I'll say again, when it comes down to winning cruises, is there an accelerated route? Yes, there is. Will you have some wins and losses? Yeah, but they're bigger wins and bigger losses. At the slow and steady pace, if you are willing to sit down, when we say sit, we're talking maybe 2-3 hours at the same or different machines, you too can do this. And so Robert and Roberta, thank you. He's now prime. And what does that come with?
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
I reached prime status after 2 cruises.
Mm-hmm.
First cruise, I ended up getting a free cruise. And I got a little over 1,000 points on that particular cruise. It was a 3-nighter. And I managed to get 1,000 points. And the requirement for a new cruise on that short excursion was only 800 points. So that entitled me to a free cruise. Then on the next cruise, the 7-nighter, the requirement was 1,500 points. But you gotta remember, all these points are accumulative, right? So they go from April 1st of one year to March 31st of the following year. So you got all this time to reach a certain status. And the initial objective is to reach prime. Prime is 2,500 points. You don't have to do that on one cruise. Like I said, I made 1,000 points on the first cruise. On the second cruise, I made 1,600 points. So that's 2,600 points, which made me prime. Now with prime, again, on Royal Caribbean.
Stop right there. I need for you to know that what he's talking, if you are a card player, you know that there is a bidding process, right? And then there's a playing process. So each time we come on the cruise, I call it like the bidding process. That means There's a list of things that you can do on this one cruise. That's where the 1,500 points come in. You don't have to get 1,500 points.
Right.
You can get 200.
Right. They're called instant certificate awards, and that's where if you get X amount of points on a particular cruise, you instantly get a free cruise. All you have to do is make a deposit. You got to pay. When I say free cruise, that includes cabin fees for the cruise only. You still got to pay port fees and taxes on every
gratuities, stuff
right.
like that.
Well, port fees and taxes typically is about $134 a person. So I end up having to pay $275 for that cruise. That's considered a free cruise, right?
Yeah.
Which is awesome because typically you're going to pay thousands depending on the room, and this is for an interior cabin. Now you can always upgrade and spend more, but that's not what it's about because it's not a vacation now.
Yeah,
it's
when
a
your
lifestyle.
eyes are closed.
It's a lifestyle. So we're trying to adapt and adjust to a certain lifestyle and be able to take the advantage of being at sea, being on different islands, and just living our life differently, right?
So let's use right now we have a balcony, but look at where we're sitting.
Right.
We're up on the ship. When your eyes are closed at night, being rocked to sleep, you don't know if you're in an inside cabin or anything. But look at everything that you get.
Okay. Now we kind of sidetracked because I said that I reached Prime, and the benefits of reaching Prime. Now let's keep this in mind. We're talking Royal Caribbean, right? So Casino Royale is their gambling portion of it. Now that Casino Royale is totally separate from Crown and Anchor. Crown and Anchor would be your status for sailings. We are currently Diamond Plus, which is one level below the highest level, which is Pinnacle. So that's where we are. With Diamond Plus status, we get 5 apiece, 5 drinks, alcoholic drinks, whatever, per day for sailing. Now, if you've ever cruised, you know that drink packages can be very expensive. And 5 drinks is a lot of drinks. But now that I reached Prime, the casino is totally separate from Crown and Anchor. So now I also get free drinks inside of the casino.
Yeah,
unlimited free drinks inside
like
the casino.
It's like having a drink package in the casino.
It's better than having a drink package.
Yeah.
It's better than having a drink package. If you drink like that.
Right.
You know, we don't drink like that, but that's
that.
a benefit. That's a benefit if you do drink, right?
So together, we get 10 drinks a day and unlimited drinks in the casino. And they can be water, soda, whatever it is that you want. That's with any of them. Plus we receive 2 free days of internet.
Okay, that's not.
No, that's Crown and Anchor.
That's Crown and Anchor. I want to keep them separate so you understand.
Right.
So with Crown and Anchor, with our status, right, we get
a total of 4 days together with the internet. But what do you get because of Prime?
In regards to the internet, I get a discount on
right now.
The internet, which is 35%. So in other words, what I'm saying is between us on a 7-night cruise, and also keep in mind, I also mentioned about my shareholder benefits of $100. So watch this. So on a 7-night cruise, I get $100 credit for my shareholder's benefit. I get 2 nights of internet. She gets 2 nights of internet.
Not nights. 24 hours.
24 hours, 4 days together, right? And I get a 35% discount through Prime, through Royal, through the casino offer, right? So watch this. So that means on a 7-night cruise, I get 4 nights, I got 3 nights left to pay for the internet, right? I got a $100 credit just from my shareholders, which will take care of 3 nights. Almost 3 nights of internet. So now I'm sailing with free internet for a 7-night cruise.
All paid for by Royal Caribbean.
All paid for by Royal Caribbean.
Yep.
So let that marinate.
Yeah.
You know, that's just some of the benefits, and it goes on and on. There's a lot of other stuff that we're not sharing right now, but we just kind of wanted to.
I look at being on a cruise. So my electric bill is paid for, my food is paid for, my water is paid for, my AC, my entertainment. Anything I want to eat or drink is covered. Nothing additional. And there's a, go ahead.
With that being said, now, I did say early on that if you work remotely, you can actually work on a cruise. Now, everything that we're saying, you still get the benefit of, right? So you can start your work day out, like me, I normally like to start 4 or 5 in the morning, right? I can start work at 4 or 5 in the morning, and by noon or 1 or 2-ish in the afternoon, I've completed an 8-hour day, right? So I got the rest of the time, where am I? On a ship.
Do you guys see why this really worked for us? This
Yeah.
really, your life might not be situated like this. I understand. But there's a couple of things. Look, you can support us and watch, or you can make some shifts and moves and say, wait a minute, we might not do it exactly like them, but honey, I
Find
can
what
see,
works for you, yeah.
find what works for you. Because in 2025, the goal is 6 months on a ship, not 6 months straight. So between earning free cruises, everything that's going on with buy one, get one free and all this other stuff, we'll try and do back-to-backs where we spend at least 14 days out in other countries on the ship. We go back home and make sure the grass is cut and all that other stuff and say hi. And if we can turn around and work that thing out like that by 2026, it'll be 9 months. So I have a whole year, y'all and us, to figure this out. So if you have some information, share it. Share it.
Yeah.
You know, we want to hear
Knowledge
it.
is power.
It
Absolutely.
is.
Knowledge
So
is
we're
power.
sharing with you guys what it is that we know, what it is that we're doing, and you guys can drop some comments, drop some questions, say, hey, you know, what about this? So today we're in San Juan. Someone that you work with told us about some ice cream.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we're gonna get off here in a second and go
And
see if
hunt
we
for
can
the ice cream.
find the place. She said Old San Juan, and it might be one around here. So we're gonna go and see what we can find, and you know, check it out. And if you follow us on the other channel, you know that we're carnivores, so we eat meat products, right? Animal products, and ice cream is animal. It is. It may have a little sugar in it, but we try to stay away from sugar, so we won't eat too much of it.
Yeah,
You know?
we can taste it. I don't worry about sending my whole system into a tailwind. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks for joining. Thank you guys. And look, let us know if you were gonna be on the ship. We might be on it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all, oh
Absolutely.
my God. Yeah, this is like expanding the family. Expanding the family. Thanks for watching, guys. Until next time.
Bye-bye.